it and thank it for showing up and make space for it and breathe through it. Tonight's topic is self-love. And it's a topic that is coming up more so now that we're becoming more connected to ourselves, to our spirits, and living more from I'll say our spirit, but basically living more from our heart and pursuing purpose and passion and direction and meaning in our life. So, we're just in this time where it's not serving us to live asleep anymore, to work jobs that just pay the bills, or to live shut down, or to live suppressed on any level. A lot of people are waking up to the light inside them and wanting to explore that more. So this conversation about self-love is a part of that experience. And there's a lot of ways we can look at self-love, a lot of self-care pieces, like making sure we're getting enough sleep and we're tending to our needs and we're tuning into ourselves and we're, giving ourselves any kind of pampering things like body work or baths. Not that those are pampering, sometimes those are necessities. So there's a lot of ways we can give to ourselves self-love. I want to take tonight a notch deeper, and I want to guide you through an experience of understanding love on the subtle body level. And part of that is going to be about going into some layers inside yourself where consciousness stores. So I'm going to explain that. We go through experiences in life, growing up through our lives. And in our experience of life, we gather layers of imprints, experiences that happen in our life that will leave an imprint. And that imprint will be a part of how we develop and grow. Some of those imprints are great. They're learning lessons. They're how we grow. They're how we strengthen and become who we are. Some of them are actually wounds. So we carry blocks and wounds and layers where we actually disconnect from ourselves. And when we have disconnection from ourselves, or we have what I'll call negative imprints inside ourself, inside of our being, then we're not necessarily able to connect to love for ourselves during that time period of life. Instead, we're connected to a feeling that was going on at that time of development that might have been hard or difficult. So instead of love, we might be feeling fear. We might be feeling anger. We might be feeling confusion or something else that's happening during that developmental time period of our life. So part of this healing is to go in to these deeper layers inside ourselves to start to release some stored blockage, for lack of a better way of saying it, a blockage, layers, negative imprints, to allow ourselves to start to fill in love into those spaces. Because what happens in our development growing up is that we're not necessarily, not everyone, I'm making a generalization here, but we're not necessarily nurtured with self-love from the very beginning. And it's not anyone's fault. It's how our consciousness level was or how society was at the time. We're raised in different eras. And so everyone was going through something collectively in different eras at different times. And unfortunately, that affected us on sometimes negative ways. So what we're going to look at here is, what is love on the deepest level in our being? How do we connect to that love? How do we clear some blocks to connecting to that love? And how to start to fill in the spaces? How to have deeper love for self, which is more embodying of love within self. So hopefully that's clear. I guess I'd say the most concrete I can give you of a deep energetic experience. So I just hope that you'll be able to receive it and just relax and open your heart and your mind, and we'll dive in. So I'm going to turn my camera off and I'm going to move to my meditation seat, and we will get started here. So you can go ahead and begin with just closing your eyes and feeling yourself settle in to your sit bones. Sit bones make contact with your seat. And as you start to bring your breath down lower in the body, see if you can imagine that there's any concentration of energy up towards the head starts to come down, almost like you're dropping an anchor, and the energy starts to move down lower into your body. And then imagine what it might feel like to roll out energetic red carpets down your legs, to roll out your energy down through your legs. We're going to allow our energies to embody, to come down into the body, and to bring our breath and awareness, feeling your legs, feeling your feet, feeling your breath, your belly. And then imagine that you have a strong grounding cord that runs from your hips and your sit bones. It's like a tree trunk that goes all the way down through the layers, the different layers of the earth. And again, anywhere you might be mentally, start to imagine what it feels like to extend this tree trunk deep into the earth and allow it to sprout its roots. And then any of your energy that's been anywhere else, with anyone or in transit, I want you to imagine that from your tailbone up through the crown of your head is your pillar of light, your central pillar, your center. And all your energy that's been moved out of that center, you're just going to call it back in. Bring all of you back in to your center from anyone or anywhere it's been. Anyone it's been with or anywhere it's been. And then around us is a beautiful sphere of divine grace, holding this healing space, this circle of light and healing. Around each of us individually is our own auric field, and there's beautiful gold light around that right now for healing. And I'd like you to imagine right now that you are going to breathe into allowing space to be held for you. So allowing this gold light to shine in towards you, giving you the signal to your energy body that you are held, you are loved, you are protected, you are perfect. And then I pray here that our angels and our spirit guides surround us. We all have them. They're here to support us on our journey, guide us as we open up to allowing faith and trust in the divine process. They assist us, and that they hold this space as sacred and provide guidance. And I pray that my connection is open to God and that I receive light through my crown chakra to my third eye, my throat, my heart, continuing down into the earth through lower chakras. It's protected with pure love, this connection. I pray that this healing is conducted in the highest good of each of us individually and of the planet. And silently to yourself or out loud, you can accept this healing. Good. And so I see the spirit guides and angels around us. I'm going to just deliver the information that's coming through. They're saying, greetings from our hearts to your hearts, the frequency of love, of divine love, the pure essence of grace that is around you and around your spirit and has been around your spirit for many lifetimes, in and out of bodies and into this lifetime also, in your purity, in your youth, in your infancy. You have been wearing this divine essence energy as pure and clear light around you. And we are shining this light in your direction as if you are that baby again, as if you are that pure essence again. And we see you in your spiritual light as such. And we are guiding you through clearing some layers that have created perhaps some fears or some density around your energy field. And that may serve as protection or walls or blocks that may keep you from seeing this divine essence within yourself. But this is the true essence of love, the light from spirit. And your spirit does shine through in your lightness, in your joy, in your laughter, in your smile, in your bright eyes. This love does come through. But what happens are moments of forgetting because some other consciousness comes in at work. It's the consciousness of fear. It's the consciousness of wounds that surface. And so we are inviting you at this moment to visualize in front of you your baby essence, your infancy. And it's okay if you don't actually know what that looks like. But imagine what your soul conjures up as your infant essence. Create that in your mind, your imagination, and see that image before you. And see how much brightness and purity and love that beams from this little baby you and beams towards you. This is the light of yourself. This is the love of yourself. In this innocence, your spirit and your body are one. You know not yet pain or hurt or programming or fear. You transform the world around you just by your presence because you are new. You are fresh. You are purity. You are pure love. I invite you to connect to this picture of yourself. We're going to take you through a clearing. Going to let this picture of your innocence, your baby self, move to the side for a moment and bring into the center focus the first image or picture that comes to you of yourself where you feel contracted from that essence. Perhaps unable to feel it. Somewhere in your youth, a challenging time, a difficult time. We invite you to see yourself there in front of you. And you are a child or a youth. And perhaps notice if that part of you has developed some layering, some programming, has taken on more than what was yours. It began to shape your thoughts and your feelings about yourself. And those feelings started to grow inside. And as they grew inside, perhaps those feelings became more self-critical, not making space for love. We invite you to see yourself in this young and vulnerable time, in a time period when you needed love, not confusion or fear or any other feeling. You needed love. And to love yourself now means to love these time periods of your life, to love yourself during these difficult times. So see yourself and begin to open your heart to that version of yourself. And send that part of you so much love for what he or she went through. You see the need. The need was for love. But what got absorbed was something else. As you send love to the deeper need inside this part of your youth, let this part of you transform. loving this aspect of yourself. We're going to let this aspect of yourself, this young part of yourself now, to remember the infant self, the baby. The baby who walks into a room, who lights up the room, or is carried into the room and lights up the room. See this aspect of your baby self now enter the picture, and this child self and the baby self embrace. The child self has a somatic and energetic experience of holding the baby, of remembering his or her essence. Take some deep breaths and let the negative imprinting dissolve. The fear, the projection, the confusion. Let the baby and the child bond, come together, and feel. Start to feel a sense of love between the two of them. And within your own heart. Now these two are going to work together, and they're going to join you, your adult self, in advancing in consciousness to an older age, maybe teenage years or later youth. Another difficult time for you, a place where it's been hard to love yourself because that time period was so challenging. You weren't feeling love for self then. You were feeling something else. Start to focus in on that time period and who you were at that time in your struggle. See you in perhaps all the mistakes you felt like you made, or all the shame you may have carried, or all the rage or fear or insecurity. Open your heart to that image of you, that picture in your mind, because the deeper need was love. And send him or her love. Beam it from your heart. And you have helpers here, your infant self and your childhood self, who have just come together to bond to love and to remember love, the glow, the purity, the innocence, and the joy. And they come around that version of you that is in pain, and they also beam love. They invite this part of you to soften, to forgive, to be forgiven. To release. To remember that all he or she is needed in that given moment of time was love. From your heart and from your infant heart and child heart. You're inviting this part of you to remember love, to feel love, to accept love. Perhaps the younger versions of you invite this other version of you, this older version of you, to play, to soften, to laugh. Continue to breathe as you're releasing any old pain, as you are beaming love to these old pain points, these old dots that need to get connected, that need to plug back into love. Affirm by saying to this part of yourself, I love you. I'm sorry. I forgive you. You are perfect. I love you. And now advance one more time to another aspect of yourself, perhaps later in your life. Invite this part of you in to join the other aspects of you who have received your love. Invite that aspect of you into the circle. This older part of you may be a little wiser, have a little more forgiveness in yourself, a little more awareness, but yet still needing to remember love, that the deeper need inside yourself is love. See your infant self, your childhood self, your later adolescent or teenage self, and your adult self together in a circle, embracing each other. Allow them each to feel in this moment a feeling of union, coming together to be seen, to be loved, to be felt by you. And now imagine that the four versions in front of you are standing next to each other, directly in front of you. And there is a beam of grace, a beam of light that is flowing down to the back of their hearts. And that beam of light is signifying healing, forgiveness, connection, and acceptance. You're going to see all four people, all four versions of you start to merge into one light, to come together into one light, one spirit, with the beam of light coming down. And that spiritual essence in front of you is the brightest light of love that you could possibly imagine. And start to feel that your heart opens up to that light in front of you. You're going to call this part of you back home. Call this love in. For a long time, you may have fragmented some parts of yourself outside of yourself, and it's hard to love self when we're in different places. So in this moment, open your heart and receive by calling in this aspect, this beautiful, glowing love. That's you. Deep breaths in, bring it into your heart, into the core of your being. Allow it to integrate into all of your internal organs, to places where you felt empty, alone, scared, lost. Fill you up with the love that you may have been seeking outward or in someone else to feel that fulfillment. Fill you up. Fill it into your belly, into your pelvis, into your legs, into your heart, into your throat, into your spine, your head. Fill yourself up with this beautiful, healed remembrance of your true light essence. When we can love the parts of us that were suffering and meet that deeper need of love, we can gather ourselves into wholeness and feel that love again for self. Now visualize here that a beam of light comes down through the crown of your head, and that this is divine grace. This is a shower of love. And as you lean back into it, perhaps it lifts your posture. And there's a feeling of light coming into the back of your heart. The back of the pillar connects to the back of your heart. Take some deep breaths there. Fill yourself up with love. This is your pipeline. This is your connection to receiving divine love. Shower it through, receive it, take it in, and let it fuel you. And so we'll allow this beautiful love essence that's filling in, this beautiful light, igniting your spirit and your spiritual light, becoming brighter and bigger, as if it's expanding beyond your physical form. Expanding beyond your skin. And it brightens the energy essence around you. That's your aura, the energy field around your body. And as it brightens that field, it detoxifies anything that's weighing on you, making you tired, distracting you, clogging your clarity. Your bright essence, your desire to fill yourself with loving wholeness, expands beyond your skin and brightens the energy field, clearing your mind. Your mind is your energy field. Brightening that energy around you. And then imagine feeling that gold light again around the outside of your energy field shining in to you. And it helps to draw your aura towards your skin, not squeezing it, but giving you a nice hug. So your aura hugs you because there's this beautiful golden light forming just a sweet boundary around the outside of your field to hold your container. Sometimes we need those boundaries to feel ourselves. And with your hands in prayer at the center of your heart, take a bow to yourself, to the light within you, to the growing light within you. And know that at any time you can see an image of your history and send love to that part of yourself. you can repeat this type of healing to send yourself love. And that self-love is about connecting to these time periods or these dots in our history